I want to provide a review of this rolling desk. I was provided it by the brand in exchange for an honest review, but honestly, I have been looking at purchasing one for myself because they are so useful. So let me show you how easy this was to assemble. It took about 15 minutes maybe, but all the parts are clearly labeled and it was really easy to do.
So it did come in a rather big box, which was a little intimidating at first, but once you opened it, everything was in there nice and neat, and it was not overwhelming at all. There were actually very few big parts, and all the little parts were clearly labeled. So once you opened it up, this is really all that was in there. It was pretty simplistic. So the first thing you assembled was attaching a platform to the pole, and then you flipped that pole upside down and put the desktop on top of that. Everything went on with 4 screws, and it was super simple. The instructions were very clear on which Allen wrench to use and which screws and bolts needed to be used for this particular part. The next piece to assemble was the base. So that mainly was putting the wheels on. There were 2 wheels that locked, so you put those on the longer portion of the base, and then the 2 wheels that didn't lock went on the shorter portion. These went on with a wrench and the bolts that were actually already attached. So again, very, very easy. And then the final piece was attaching that roller base to your stand. So this was done, they had notches in there, so it lined up really easy. And then there was a bolt and a screw and another Allen wrench, and everything went on just as planned. Through this whole assembly, there was nothing that threw me off or nothing that didn't work or make sense. Once that was on, you were ready to flip it over and your desk was ready to go.
So here it is when I'm standing. This is as high as it goes. So I can stand full upright and not slouch at all and have a nice desk space. And then if I want to lower it, it actually goes all the way down to there. So I can sit and then adjust it as needed. It has plenty of room at the top. If I had my laptop here, I would still have room for a notebook, a pen, and some writing space. So this is just the perfect size, both desk-wise and height. I'm hoping to get like a walking pad and use that sometimes with it. And then I'm keeping it in the bedroom because sometimes it's hard to find a quiet spot in my house. And I come up here to work and then I'm either sitting on the bed or whatever. So this is going to provide a really nice space for me up here, and then I can just roll it out of the way when I'm done. I highly recommend this.